Hello everyone, Patricius Juwanano again here. Today's topic is about linguistics. I'm going to discuss branches of linguistics. You know that linguistics is one study of language in which we can find some other studies which deal with the more specific aspects of language. Okay, now without further ado, let's dive into my PowerPoint presentation. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is our topic for today, branches of linguistics. But before starting the whole explanation, I'd like to start off with a distinction which is important, I think, in the field of linguistics, which is syntagmatic and paradigmatic. Now, syntagmatic is concerned with the continuation of a linear arrangement. Again, linear arrangement. So when you are doing syntagmatic analysis or syntagmatic work, you will be thinking of what to put after one another in a linear sequence from left to right. As in, when you are constructing a sentence, you are thinking of what to put after the subject, what to put after the verb, and so on. That's syntagmatic, continuation of a linear arrangement, and that is typical of a sentence. Yeah. So in constructing a sentence, you would be thinking of what elements are to be put after a certain element. That's syntagmatic. Now, in contrast to that is a paradigmatic. Paradigmatic is concerned with the substitution of a certain element. Now, you are thinking about what to put instead of this one. What word is suitable to replace this word? Now, you are thinking about that. That's paradigmatic. Yeah. So, for example, if you have the sentence "she loves apples," yeah, in paradigmatic analysis or paradigmatic framework, you would be thinking of what to substitute for the word apple. What word can you put instead of the word apple or in place of the word apple to replace the word apple? Okay, so that's paradigmatic. Now, notice this distinction because it's important for your further study in linguistics. Yeah, you can have a try. You can have a go at these sentences. So you have I have several sentences, and you are free to pause the video for a while and think about what to put after the word before the blank. Yeah, that's syntagmatic, right? Yeah. Yeah. Now the next one is about paradigmatic because you want to replace the underlined phrases with another phrase. And so it's no longer linear, but it's one word instead of the other. One word to replace another word, like that. Yeah. Okay. Again, you can pause the video and have a go at this simple exercise. Yeah, just to notice that you can notice that the paradigmatic elements are from the same grammatical class and semantic field. And okay, we are going to deal with that later. Now, phonology is the study of sounds of a particular language. When you study phonology, you study the sounds of a particular language. Yeah. Now, morphology is the study of the smallest meaningful unit of a language. So when you study morphology, you look for a smallest unit which is still meaningful in that language, and that is morphology. Yeah. So for example, if I have you analyze those words into these sentences into morphemes, you would say that morphemes are comprised of or are made up from the a bound morpheme and free morpheme. Later you are going to deal with this. Here it's enough for you to know that in morphology you study the smallest meaningful unit of a language. Yeah. Okay, in psycholinguistics you study how humans acquire, understand, and produce language. Yeah. So in psycholinguistics, you will deal with these issues. Which one is harder to learn, present simple or present progressive? Why is the sentence visiting relatives bore me is ambiguous? Why is Bill Gates a very fluent speaker of English? Yeah. Now, these simple questions actually fall into the domain of psycholinguistics. When you deal with psycholinguistics, when you study psycholinguistics, you seek answers to these kinds of questions. Now, syntax is the study of sentence structures of a particular language. Again, this is the sentence structure. You study the structures of sentences in a particular language. Yeah. For example, rules of combining words into meaningful strings. You are going to study the rules which you have to apply when you want to make your sentences meaningful. Yeah. So, for example, if you have the word love, hate, us, we, rock, painful, is, but, and when, you have to apply the syntax principles, you have to apply the syntactic rules in order to make the string meaningful. If you just put them like this, love after, before hate, and then you have us and we, etc., it doesn't have any meaning because you do not apply the syntactic structures, you do not apply the rules here, and that's why it's got no meaning. Yeah. Semantics is the study of meaning. Again, this is another exciting area of linguistics. You study the meaning. So, for example, if I give you the sentence, colorless green ideas are sleeping furiously. What can you make of it? What do you say about that? What is your opinion about this sentence? Colorless green ideas are sleeping furiously. Yeah, that's syntactically correct, but semantically nonsense. Now, again, in semantics, we are going to deal with this kind of issue. The meaning. Yeah. And then semiotics is the study of science of communication, and it can be either verbal and or non-verbal. Science of communication. Okay. Now you can think about science in your daily life that you come across in your daily life that warn you, gives you a warning. For example, no smoking here, or please you, makes you happy, or sadden you, makes you sad. Now, those are, we study those phenomena in semiotics. We study the signs and how they mean, how we derive meanings from those signs, semiotics. It's also another exciting area in linguistics. And then we come to sociolinguistics. Sociolinguistics is the study of a society through the language they use. So when you study sociolinguistics, actually you study society through the language that they use. Now you can be informed, you can probably realize that people of lower class speak differently from people of upper class. Now this is an area in sociolinguistics. You can study the society, the upper class and the lower class, through the language that they speak, through the language that they use in their daily life. Yeah, and you can find the difference. Yeah. Pragmatics is the study of relationship between language and its context. Again, the word context here is crucial. This is critical. Study of language and its context. Now, I'll give you this simple dialogue. Yeah, read this for a while. Yeah. Tadi yang ikan nila bakar siapa? B says, saya pecel lele. C says, hey D, kamu nila bakar tak? D says, bukan, aku kodok goreng. E says, nila bakar? Oh ya, itu saya. Kenapa mas? And A says, anu mbak, nilanya habis. Now when you read this dialogue, do you think that those people there are a group of fish and frog? So D is a frog and B is a lele, is a catfish. No, of course not. You can make sense of this because you relate it to the context, to the most possible context that makes sense. And you know that in this dialogue, you imagine a certain context in a restaurant or in a cafe. People have ordered their dishes, and the waiter comes to their desk, to their table, and ask this kind of questions to inform them that they are out of nila fish. Yeah, so once the context is activated in your mind, then you have no problem of understanding this dialogue correctly. And you won't think that B is a catfish and D is a fried frog. No, because of the context. Okay, now pragmatics study the relationship between language and its context. Again, it is the context that determines the understanding on the part of the listeners or the readers. The context is a very powerful means of helping the readers or listeners understand the whole utterances or the whole text. Okay, that's it. Thank you and good luck. See you again in my next episode. Goodbye.